Hello everyone and welcome back to Tiny House and Off-Grid Resources. This is the Restoring the Lockdown Landy series of videos. At the end of the last video you left me removing all of the bog, the filler, the bondo from this rear panel. It's been badly repaired and I've decided to strip all of the bondo out and make a much better job of doing the repair. So I've stripped off the corner galvanised reinforcing piece and I'm now massaging this corner back into place, and I'll give it a lot less filler and put the thing back together again. A big thanks goes out to James Waters, one of my subscribers, who took the time to contact me earlier today and suggest that I use a heat gun or a oxyacetylene torch to heat up the bog, and it just scrapes out without any fuss at all. So thank you so much for that, James. You've made my job so much easier. What I'm finding is that in the accident, or accidents, it's been reinforced and strengthened by the structure of the inner guard and the structure of the floor. Those parts haven't bent very far at all, but it's dished in quite badly in the flat areas in between. So my first job will be to get inside the vehicle and push those two lines, the top of the inner guard and the floor line, push them out until they're sitting where they used to be. When I do that, that's going to bring out some of the dent in the middle as well, but not all of it. I'll work on that after I've got the two main parts, the floor and the top of the inner guard, back in line where they should be. In the meantime, I'm going to need some panel beating tools. I don't use these much, but I've got a fairly comprehensive selection of panel beaters hand tools here. Lots of hammers, lots of dollies, some spoons, some pry bars, and some just random pieces of metal that I've made and bent into shape to do certain jobs. So here we are. These are some of the hammers and dollies that it looks like I might be needing today. There's comma dollies and mushrooms and flat dollies. I've got shrinking hammers, I've got bumping hammers, I've got large rubber mallets. So after finding where the high spots and low spots are, the first job is to bring out this top seam, the seam line of the inner guard. Bring it back to where it should be. I want to get a nice straight line on the inside and the outside. Meanwhile, back on the inside, a few big whacks with a good sized hammer should get this seam sitting back where it should be. I've got about 4mm, which is 3/16 of an inch, to bring it out. And then back outside again, check it for straightness. So here I am inside the toolbox, just bringing the panel out. It looks like I'm going to be able to get this all within 1mm. I'm pretty happy the way it's moving. Currently sitting at 2 to 3mm all the way along, but I'll just keep working on this line and I'll get it down to around 1mm. Here is a nasty little impact point where something has hit the vehicle side on at 90 degrees. I think something's been dropped against the vehicle. So I've just counted how many rivets from the back it is. It's the 4th rivet and it's inside the toolbox. So I'll have a little feel. Yeah, I can feel it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to feel where the sharp dent is, and then I'm going to use a bumping knife, which is a little like a pry bar. It's a panel beater's tool that can be used for so many different things. I'm going to slip it in here. I'm now bringing down any of the crowns, any of the high points where I've pushed things through a little too far. You can see where I'm working that there's also a crease, and that crease has got high spots on the outside, low spots in the middle. I can't get to both sides because my arms aren't long enough, so I'm bringing the whole thing out too far from the inside and then taking the area around it back in flat again. Slowly it disappears. As I say, I'm confident that I can get this entire panel straight and within 1mm. There's an area here about the size of my hand right on the seam that's still too low, so I'm going to go inside and with a handy piece of wood just bring that out by a couple of millimeters, and we'll see where we sit with that. There we go. Looking pretty. Oh, we've got a high point, which is okay. I'll just get the hammer and bring that high point down again. Yep. Still got that sharp little point there. Checking for oil canning. Sometimes when you work a panel too much in one area, you can stretch it and you end up with the bing bong effect, and that has to be shrunk out. Shrinking aluminium panels isn't hard at all. You can see I've just got a paint removal gun, and all I'm going to do is heat it until it gets to a temperature of about 100 degrees Celsius. That's too hot to touch, but it's not going to damage anything. It's really only the temperature of burning paint. But I'll heat that up and then hammer around the area that I'm heating, and that will move the excess material into the centre, where I can then shrink it with a cold wet rag. Now I'm just doing the sizzle test with the old spit on the finger to see how hot it is. And then, as I say, I'm going to hammer around it to move that excess metal into the scar that you can see in the centre. And then I'll hit it quickly with a wet rag, and that pulls the heat out of it and shrinks the metal down and takes out the bing bong effect. There you go, all gone. Flat panel again. And just to finish off today's video, here's that bumping iron again. I'm going to use it to lever off the chassis and put some pressure on this nasty little piece on the back corner that looks like it's been caught on a tree stump or gate post or something like that. And I'm going to ease that back into shape, hold some pressure on it, and give it a tippy-tappy on the seam. Notice I'm doing glancing blows. I'm not hitting square. I don't want to bruise the metal. I want to push it slightly sideways as I hammer it out. There's some very subtle moves with panel beating. Direct blows, direct against the dolly underneath, and then hammering off the dolly underneath. It's a little bit like sculpturing. Putting the shape back into the last little pieces. So I'm confident now that this entire panel is flat within 1mm, and I'll just put a very thin wipe of filler over the pieces that need it, and then get that prepped up for painting. But it looks like it's going to be a week or so until I'm doing any painting. Don't forget that this video is part of a series. It's my Lockdown Landy Restoration series. I'm locked down with the COVID virus and confined to home, so I'm putting a good 8 to 10 hours a day into this old beast and seeing just how far I can get with limited stocks of the consumables that I know I'll be needing. If you'd like to see more of this stuff, hit the old subscribe button, give it a like if it's the kind of thing that you would like to see more of, and I'll see you in the next video.